right, so let's finish talking about endangered animals, and it's going to bring us into invasive species. Okay, so when we look at endangered organisms, there are ways that we classify their status, and this is all provided by a international organization. Sorry, guys, because I want to make sure I give you the right name, because I can never remember the acronym. So this is what we call the red list. Okay, so the red list is kept up to date pretty accurately. And so this comes from the IUCN, which is the International Union of Conservation of Nature. Okay, so these are the individuals who are able to give us how many numbers are currently on the planet and what their conservation status is. So let's look at some examples of these. All right, so elephants, we're with elephants again. So we have the African and the Asian elephant, and they're different based on the shape of their ears. So elephants are what we call endangered. Okay. Now, endangered simply means that there is a chance that they will go extinct without conservation efforts put in place. Okay. Now, when we look at right here, white rhino. No, I'm sorry, not white rhino. I can't tell animals tonight. All right. So this is the gorilla. Okay. So the gorilla is what we call critically endangered. Okay, so critically endangered means that their numbers are extremely low and they will most likely go extinct very soon. That there are so few of them seen in the wild that we don't really know how many are left because they just don't reproduce very quickly. And they isolate themselves really well. So dolphins, actually this is not a dolphin, this is a beluga, y'all. This is late and I'm tired. All right, this is a beluga. So these are what we call threatened. Now, threatened does not mean endangered. Threatened means that their numbers are dwindling and they could become endangered. Dang, Bauer, why are you being so loud? Sorry, y'all. They could become endangered, but they're not there yet. So if you look, guys, what do all of these animals have in common? They are case-selected. Okay, so case-selected animals can become endangered and extinct really easily and really quickly. So now let's look at different types of extinction levels. And yes, there are different types of extinction levels. So this first one, this is the red wolf. It's a beautiful animal. So this is what we call local extinction. Local extinction means it is no longer found in a specific area. So the red wolf is native to Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. It is currently locally extinct in Texas and New Mexico because of habitat encroachment and development. So they are no longer found in Texas, but they are still found in another location, so that's why we just call them locally extinct. All right, the next one we call ecological extinction. Okay, ecological extinction basically means that, sorry y'all, I'm sitting on the floor. Ecological extinction means that there are so few left that these animals cannot play a significant role in the environment anymore. So tigers are obviously going to be top predators in an ecosystem. And if you don't have top predators in an ecosystem, you know that the prey population can overpopulate. There are so few tigers left because they are hunted illegally for their fur. that they're not able to play that apex predator role any longer. So other animals kind of have to step into that place, or we could have an overabundance of prey. All right, the last one is what we call biological extinction. So biological extinction means they are gone from the planet. Poof, bye-bye, don't see them anymore. Now, the picture that I put here is a white rhino, okay? Now, if y'all watch the video that I talked about, the white rhino technically isn't biologically extinct yet. There are 2 white rhinos left on the planet. They're trying to figure out a way to somehow repopulate it, okay? But they're both females, so we know that there are no more babies coming, so that's technically biologically extinct. Okay, you can also put the dinosaurs in that category. All right, so let's look at invasive species. Now, I'm not going to go into a ton of detail about invasive species, because basically if you understand that it's not supposed to be there, it's going to be invasive. Now, invasive species tend to come in and completely take over an environment. They are not specialists, they are generalists, which means they can survive a huge range of conditions, and they can outcompete native animals and plants. They're just better at competing. And they're typically going to be our selected species. They have a lot of babies, they have a short lifespan, so there's a constant turnover rate of them. Okay, so invasive species are species that can live and thrive outside of their normal habitat. And I'm going to give you guys some examples. Okay. Sometimes they're beneficial, most of the time they're not. They are mostly negative, and they threaten native species. They're mostly negative. And they threaten native species. Okay? And like I said, they're typically are selected. And they can outcompete native organisms. So they have to be controlled through human intervention. It's typically the human's fault that they're there in the first place, and the only way to get rid of them is through human intervention. So they have to be controlled through human intervention. Okay, now this picture right here, you guys don't have to memorize these, but these are the top 10 invasive species in Texas. So zebra mussels, these came all the way from, Russia, y'all. They came over on a boat from Russia. They came over in like the ballast water, so the water underneath. And they are basically in every single lake in the United States. Let's see. Fire ants came from Chile. They hitched a ride on a cargo boat and came up here. Africanized honeybee. Well, obviously they are from Africa, but they made their way up from Brazil. So basically what happened with these Africanized honeybees, these are also called killer bees. You'll have heard these. Some farmers in Brazil brought these honeybees, these African honeybees, over to Brazil because they were wanting to mate them with the Brazilian bees so they could produce more honey. Well, it turns out that they were incredibly aggressive, and they have slowly migrated their way up. And they are, in Texas now. And a lot can be said about their moving further north because the temperature up here is getting warmer and warmer because of climate change. Oh, looks like my computer's about to die. Okay, so basically this is where I want to stop tonight, guys. And we're gonna have one more thing we'll talk about in Unit 5, and then or in Unit 4, and then we'll be done. So hopefully I gave you guys stuff to think about with endangered animals.